everyone, this is the Final Bosman, and I'm getting too old for this shit! Welcome to the show. I am Kyle Bosman, and I'm joined by Brandon Jones today.
Hi, how
I
are ya?
did not want a handshake, but we'll take it. Brandon, you are editor-in-chief of GameTrailers.com.
Yeah, it happened.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is such a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know this is what's happening now.
Man, I didn't know. We're throwing things around. We're seeing what sticks.
It's a pleasure to be here. If I knew exactly what this was.
This is the Final Bosman. This is the show that I do. I still got a coffee mug. I still got a little Pokemon card. It's all the same. It's all the same show. Brandon, my reasoning behind today's episode, the thing that brought me here, was I was playing LBX, Little Battlers Experience, that 3DS game with robots.
Okay.
And I got to a moment, this is maybe the first time this has happened to me in my life, where I said, I might be too old for this. And so my first question to you is, has that ever happened to you? Have you ever been playing a game, midway through you said, you know what, I'm too old for this game?
Sure. Or, I mean, too old for this sounds like you give up then, right? Like that's you hit that moment where you're like, I'm not too old for this one thing. I might be too old for this game across the board.
Yeah.
I can usually tell that pretty early on.
What's the one thing though? You've played a game and you're like, I'm too old for this one part, but I'm gonna keep going?
I was just clarifying that that's what you were saying.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I've never, I mean, how far were you into the game before you
Very
realized
far,
that?
man. It's just like, it's about a little boy going to school, and this is like, I should probably stop playing games about little boys going to school.
I don't know if that's necessarily a qualifier for me of like whether I should play a game or not. Like if a game's fun, I mean, like the games I could potentially be too old for are the Lego games and Disney Infinity. Like those are two games that like I should probably not be spending as much time on those as I do, and should be playing, you know, like Gone Home and, you know, like other like, you know, more interesting, compelling games that are more maybe like my speed, my age, like mature experiences.
Brandon, I'm so glad you brought it up. Because again, you are editor-in-chief of GameTrailers.com.
Right.
And one of your vocally favorite games is Disney Infinity. That makes no sense. Do you ever feel weird about that?
I don't, because I mean, for me it's a collector's thing, and like if you follow like Disney collectors, like the more rabid ones are like the older, you know, ones. So like that is something, you know, for all ages. And so that it kind of fit in naturally, you know, where I didn't feel too ashamed. And also like there's something to be said for a kind of relaxed experience. Like, I don't know, you were doing that for Dumb Game Monday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that might not have been like a relaxed experience, but like, there's something nice to be playing a game.
Oh, I'm sorry,
like
LBX?
Lego games. Yeah.
No, I was just doing that to play it.
Oh, you're just checking it out?
Yeah, because I thought it'd be cool. I thought a game about robots would be cool.
Well, like, I just played Fantasy Life on 3DS,
Yeah.
and like, that's not a very serious, you know, like, I should probably be, you know, playing the Final Fantasy 15 demo, which I actually still haven't spent a lot of time with. So it's like, what on earth am I doing playing this? There's something about, you know, not feeling the stress of like a really important story, a really heavy, you know, like you have to extract every single important detail out of this. It's like, this is just fun. This is just something you can do. You don't have to think about it too much. But not identifying that, I don't know if I've ever had that before. Like getting like hours into a game and then like, you know, the wool being pulled away and just this is a kid's game, whoa.
Do you feel weird though, as an editor-in-chief, of being like, this is the game that I like? Here's my other question.
I'd feel weird if I found myself scoring those games higher than other games, or like having issues with people's review scores because I'm like, no, I think, you know, Lego Jurassic World is game of the year. Like if I said that, then, you know, yeah, I'd be concerned about that. But like, it is just a guilty pleasure. It is something that like, oh, okay, I'll stream that game this week. I'll do that fun stuff if you guys aren't interested. I'll review Skylanders if no one else is going to review Skylanders.
Because that's the thing is you don't rate it that great. You don't give it that good of a score, even though this is something that you love.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
If you love something and you want to spend time with it, you're not necessarily saying like that's the biggest, best thing you could possibly do.
Yeah.
Like a TV show, if you're like, I just love this dumb show, you know, like I'm just really into it. Like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I watched all of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 1 and 2. It's not the best show on television by a long,
No,
long, you know, like
it's a 5.5.
I should have been watching Orphan Black or, you know, or Hannibal or so, you know, like, and I didn't. I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So again, it's not like I'm not making the statement. It's tough to separate yourself as a gaming journalist between like I'm playing this and putting a lot of time into Destiny because I legitimately think it's one of the best games of the year, or man, I just can't stop playing Destiny. I have no excuse.
I remember, the one review I've written in my entire life was Cooking Mama 5.
Right.
The response to it, very negative. A lot of people saying, it's a kid's game. Why are you treating this game so mean? Do you think that's a legit thing? Do you think that you should say, you know what, Disney Infinity isn't for me. I should probably give it a 9 because for a kid's game, it is a 9. Do you ever feel like that?
Yeah, I think every now and then you just have a game that comes along that completely proves like, oh no, that this is the same thing, but they actually did an amazing job with it. Like Little Big Planet, those games. Map Player reviewed that, gave it a 9 something, 9.2, 9.3. Like, a
little high in my opinion.
But again, like he's not basing that on just kind of like this crazy fandom, because when you talk to Matt Blair, like that franchise never comes up. Like I didn't even know he was that passionate about it.
Sure.
But he's like, there's just so much polish, there's so much content that you can get in the game. And so I think there are, some of those Lego games are just masterpieces. And so I think
no Lego game is a masterpiece.
Lego Marvel is pretty
I
stupendous.
love
man.
Lego Marvel. Because here's the thing, Lego Marvel is the best game where you can fly around as Iron Man.
Right.
That's the best game that you can fly around as Iron Man. Isn't that crazy?
It's pretty great.
And it's a little game for babies.
It depends. I mean, it wasn't made by babies. Like you go to interview these guys and you talk to these guys, and like these guys are really passionate about. Like there's the Lego Avengers, which is coming out. Like there are jokes in there where it's like, no kid's gonna get that. When Stan Lee comes running in and like builds the first Mark I of like Iron Man, when you actually put the suit on, it's like, haha. Stan Lee humor. It's like like this clearly made by older people that know like you're either gonna play this with your kids or you play this in between The Witcher and Evil Within and Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
You just kind of need that palate cleanser of just like, oh, I'll just play. Or it's great, like kid games can be really good for relationships. Like if you have like a significant other that doesn't necessarily play games, and they're like, I'm not really good at shooters. I'm not really good at strategy. I'm not really good at that stuff. It's just like, there's some game that either you're both playing the same thing together or the second person just does something on the gamepad or something. There's something to be said for family games, and they can be done right. Like you can't. It's not something like we'll just give them all 7.5.
Yeah.
And just call it a day because it's a kids game. It's like there are clearly Lego games I've played where I'm like, what happened, guys?
I gave
I
gave that Cookie Mama game like a 4.5. I think. Do you think that was too wrong?
Well, you're cold-hearted, but that's fine. I mean, as long as you have a clear opinion, it's like
it was dreadful. It was sincerely dreadful.
So it's Cookie Mama 5.
Yeah.
Have you heard word of Cookie Mama 6?
No.
I'd be really curious to see,
if it improves.
Cookie Mama 6. If you improve, if suddenly you like it more, or if something you're more accepting, or you're just like now it's like, well, you know what? Now that I've gone from one sequel to another, I get it. I can kind of see why people would be into it.
That game had no progression.
This is a saga here. I mean, there's no turning back from Cookie Mama now, Kyle.
But officially, we're pro baby games.
Right.
We like them, right?
I think there's a place for them, yeah. Again, like I would never say that these games, like it's very rare that I would say. I think the only time I rooted for Infinity to win anything was at the DICE Awards. They actually had a family game. And I was like, yeah, go Infinity, and it lost to Little Big Planet. I would never, like you were the Game of the Year Awards, like I never mentioned it once. Like I never brought it up, because it's just like, no, this is just, my own little weird obsession, my kind of fun thing. I got like going to the closet, get all my.
Brandon, that's like one of like if there's a one message that flows through the final Bosman, it's like it's okay to like things that aren't great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And celebrate them for their not greatness.
Yeah.
Because that's what's kind of fun. That to me is the 5.5 to 7.5 range is really kind of discussing like you can really just take all of this apart and find those particular awesome moments. And the whole game is worth enjoying for just that, for just those things. I'm excited for Just Cause 2 to come out this year. Just Cause 3 was a horribly repetitive game, but like I just loved it, so much. Like I played that game it was a guilty pleasure because I played it way more than I should.
Yeah.
It's like I should have put that game down, 20 hours before I did, but I just couldn't help running around the world, so. Some games are like that.
That game's gonna be M for mature.
Pokemon.
Though.
There are bad Pokemon games that you still played. Like that's a kid's game, right?
Sure. Yeah, that's a kid's game.
Babies play Pokemon.
That's a whole different thing.
Are all the Pokemon babies? They're just little baby monsters.
There are baby versions of the Pokemon as well. Brandon, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Official handshake this time. I did want it there. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back here next Wednesday. Hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. All right, everybody, we're gonna play a game now. So Brandon, obviously a big fan of Disney Infinity, as discussed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hand him 5 different Disney Infinity characters. And we're gonna see if Brandon, while blindfolded, can identify these figurines. Brandon, how confident do you feel about this?
I'm mostly confident. I'm in the A range. I have 95% confidence.
All right, so we're gonna start with an easy one.
Okay.
Hold out your hands.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
That would be Yoda.
That's Yoda confirmed.
Yeah. Lightsaber. He's got his cape flipping up there, the ears. I was like, could be Stitch. Could be one of the smaller ones.
All right, you got to narrate me through the touching too. Actually,
Is the
These
last going to be a piece of poop, Kyle?
no. These are all legit. These are 5 figures.
Okay. Yeah, man, you can tell by that right there. But I think that might be Minnie. I think you might do the Mickey twist, but I think it's Minnie.
It is Minnie.
Yeah.
Well done, Brandon. All right, it's gonna get a little harder now. Gonna get a little harder.
2 for 2. It's a tricky one. Oh, that's Mulan, I think. Wait, does she have the fan out? No, she doesn't have a fan out. Oh wait, no, that's Elsa. She's got her hand out. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was female, and she had the dress on. That's definitely Elsa.
All right,
I
next
was looking
up.
for the fan. If she had the fan, then that was me, Mulan. But I've got that's a tricky one.
Oh, here we go.
Wait. That is, what is his name? Agent P. That's with the hat. With the
No,
fedora.
that's right. You got it. I really thought that one was gonna get you.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Okay. Last one. Here we go.
I was guessing Baymax probably wouldn't be one of them because that's pretty key. Okay. Jasmine, I think.
Oh God. Yes, 5 for 5. Well done, Brandon.